Did you clean cut Robin knife?
Well, I got rid of the beard. I usually do that once a month or so. It's unfortunate that this church isn't quite so clean cut. So Harvey Shepard, former Gazette religion columnist, says a new clean cut Robin. Yes, because I usually have a little bit of a beard, and I still do. It's not really clean cut. I've got that sort of Miami Vice stubble because I rarely shave. I actually gave it some thought last night. Looks like my bag went on the property. Now, I'm not supposed to on the property, but I think to just quickly recover my bag, it's fair enough. So anyhow, we shall see what's what. Oh yes, they're going to fix their crooked church sign. Yes. So it's like Harvey's helping to either fix or change. It looks like they're just fixing church sign. I had mentioned earlier that the English language sign was kind of crooked, which is very apropos. And I think, let's see here, I wonder if I should bother taking a still photo. This is pretty good. This is, Montreal Unitarians trying to fix their crooked church sign. Well, fixing their crooked church sign won't fix the crookedness of the Unitarian Church of Montreal in terms of the actions Montreal Unitarians take in the world. I think I will take a still photo, actually, which means I'm going to have to stop shooting video. Oh, maybe they are taking it down. Let's see what's going on here. They may be changing the church sign. You got some people. Oh yes, this guy. This is one of the guys who has erased my chalk slogans, protesting against Unitarian Universalist cover-up and denial of child sex abuse. And so he's one of the Montreal Unitarians who have taken action in the world that is of an immoral, unethical nature. One could even go so far as to say evil, hiding child sex abuse, hiding the fact that the larger Unitarian Universalist religious community goes to considerable lengths to conceal child sex abuse, could be described as evil. But nonetheless, it's not a good action in the world, that's for sure. This church sign obviously wants people to think, that Montreal Unitarians do good things. But in fact, many of the things they welcome are not good. Many things that they nurture are not good. Some of the things they inspire are not good. And all too often they are challenging the good. Yes, so together, Montreal Unitarians take action in the world that is of an immoral, unethical, borderline criminal, actually criminal, and sometimes evil nature. Did I forget to mention batshit crazy? Yeah, sometimes Unitarian Universalists do things that can be reasonably described as batshit crazy. Now, I'm not saying, the whole community does this all the time, but nonetheless, the whole community condones the immoral, the unethical, the borderline criminal, the actually criminal, and yes, the batshit crazy actions taken by its leaders and ordinary church members. So looks like they're going to start on the English language sign. So I had intended to do a still photo, but I think I'm just going to wait a bit. Oh, here comes a guy. Yes, another fellow coming along here. So, hey, look, you got a crooked church sign to go with your crooked church. Not bad, eh? So, the guy's name, I'm trying to remember it. I'm trying to remember the guy's name. He's not a regular churchgoer, although he has been fairly regular this year. But you know, just one of these people who just, you know, buries his head in the sand when confronted about unpleasant truths about the Unitarian Church of Montreal and the larger Unitarian Universalist religious community. So yeah, they're still having a bit of trouble getting the door shut there. So anyhow, look, we got this picket sign right here, Unitarian Universalist Perversion of Justice. That's U*U. Unsafe sect. Definitely. Oh, we got somebody looking at the picket sign there. Somebody was having a good look at the, not the picket sign, the chalk slogan, I should say, but they were looking right down at it. It's amazing, you know, that's a Montreal Unitarian. That woman who was looking at the chalk slogan has been a member of the church for quite some time now. And the best she can do is look down, literally and figuratively, on my chalk slogans, which protest against Unitarian Universalist cover-up and denial of such despicable crimes as pedophilia and rape committed by certain Unitarian Universalist ministers, certain Unitarian Universalist Sunday school teachers, and certain Unitarian Universalist lay people. So yes, Unitarian Universalists are very good at figuratively looking down on my protest against Unitarian Universalist clergy abuse and cover-up and denial thereof. And that woman was literally doing so a minute or two ago. So yeah, there we go. So here we go. They're going to try and straighten out the crooked church sign, which is a lot easier to do than straighten out the crooked church. Crooked church sign can be straightened out in a matter of minutes, but straightening out a crooked church can actually take considerably longer and take much more energy that so far Montreal Unitarians have chosen not to expend. So I got what's her name, Trudy Bloomstein, looking back here. So another longtime member of the Unitarian Church of Montreal who has done an excellent job of turning a blind eye to the issues I'm protesting against. And the woman actually doing the changing the church sign, she's actually one of the women who has been directly involved in the erasure of my chalk slogans with the hose. I can't recall that she specifically hosed down the chalk slogans herself, but she certainly supervised it, you know, basically watched over and assisted other members of the church doing so. So this woman basically takes actions in the world that seek to cover up and hide such despicable crimes as pedophilia and rape committed by certain Unitarian Universalist ministers, certain Unitarian Universalist Sunday school teachers, and certain Unitarian Universalist lay people such as Richard Buell of First Parish Norwell, to name one. So this woman is totally complicit in cover-up and denial of pedophilia and rape committed by Unitarian Universalists. She's not only complicit, but she's, you know, actively involved in covering up the cover-up. So, you know, if you're covering up the cover-up, well, you're covering up the sexual abuse itself, you know. That is that. So they straightened out the sign. Took a matter of minutes to straighten out the sign, but I think it's going to take months and years and maybe even a decade or two before they straighten out their crooked church, you know, when they actually start to do so. I mean, they haven't started yet. You know, if they you know, wanted to straighten out their crooked church, the first thing they need to do is to sit down and discuss the issues with me that I'm protesting against, so that they can remedy the injustices, abuses, and hypocrisies that I'm protesting against. But so far, Montreal Unitarians have stubbornly refused to do so. So yeah, they got their church sign straightened out, but not soon enough to prevent me from commenting on it and taking some photos of it and so on. Anyhow, so yeah, their sign's all straightened out. Now, if only they could, you know, show as much concern about the crookedness of their church leaders and straighten some of them out. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna have quite a bit of fun with that crooked church sign. But as things are, the wind has blown down my picket signs and blown away my bag that I brought them with, so I have to straighten some things out myself. But yeah, it won't take me long to straighten out that little situation. And this is the thing that Unitarians are terrible at. They don't straighten things out as soon as they can and should. You know, you bring a serious problem to their attention, and they pretend that it's not a problem. You know, they delay and delay and delay and deny and deny and deny, and the problem just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. You know, this is clearly illustrated by what has happened here at the Unitarian Church of Montreal. You know, through their decades worth of negligence and complicity, you know, the situation has gotten worse, not better. So we're just going to circulate a little bit with some picket signs. Just grab the unsafe sect picket sign because it's so easily readable from a distance, and also so pithy. I mean, two words that get the idea across that Unitarian Universalism is not entirely safe for people. So certainly not safe for victims of clergy sexual misconduct. So putting aside the fact that, you know, the sexual misconduct itself, and you know, we'll even throw in non-sexual misconduct. You know, as I've tried to point out to Unitarians, you know, some of the more serious forms of non-sexual clergy misconduct are actually worse injustices and abuses than some of the less serious forms of clergy sexual misconduct. So anyhow, you know, this continual delay of justice just makes the matter worse. You know, even in, you know, the last few years, partly as a result of my protest and blog and so on, you know, Unitarian Universalists are starting to acknowledge they have some problems, starting to at least pretend to fix the problem, you know, making new policies and so on. The problem with Unitarian Universalist policies for clergy misconduct and so on is that, you know, they look really good on paper, but very often they just don't follow them anyway. You know, they have all these rules and guidelines and so on for ministers, but you know, when a minister violates the rules, violates the guidelines, and someone brings a complaint against the minister for misconduct, be it sexual misconduct or not, you know, the Unitarian Universalist Association has this very bad habit of pretending, you know, that the minister didn't break the rules. So anyhow, got a bunch of people coming along here. Good day, sir.
Yeah, you're all set up today. Hey, someday you should show me. Maybe I can ask you how to put something on YouTube.
Well, you shoot a video and you go to YouTube and
I had a professor. I took a course at the construction school.
Right.
And he had an interesting way of counting
I'm listening.
converting English to metric,
Right.
and he wanted to shoot a video.
Right.
I don't know if he would. I don't know if he'd be interested in doing that.
Well, anyone can do it.
He had a lecture.
Right.
And he wanted to record it and put it on YouTube.
Right.
And so anyway,
Well,
I just
you know, basically a monkey can do that. So
Okay, well, would you like to be the monkey?
not particularly.
Because he doesn't know how to do it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The guy's a professor. If a monkey can do it, a professor can do it.
He asked me help because he can do construction, but he probably doesn't have the equipment. He's never done it before.
Right. Well, if he's got a cell phone, he's got the equipment.
No.
But
You can be the educated monkey if you like.
well, I'll give it some thought.
Okay, give it some thought. And if you decide you'd be interested, I'll
Right.
see if I can contact him.
Right.
See if he's still willing to, if he still wants that.
Right. But it's very simple. You shoot a video on whatever device you shoot it with, ideally on a SD card. You stick it in your, well, first you have to set up an account, but that's easy. And then you just have your SD card in your computer, and you go to YouTube and you hit upload, and then you go to the file you want to upload and you upload it, and then you write in your title, and it's just very simple. It's just really not difficult. So
Is there a way that I can contact you if this happens, or do I just have to meet you here in front of the church?
well, I'm pretty easy to find online, and my email address is in the comment form for the Emerson Avenger blog. So, oh, they're going to do their little welcoming in thing. Okay, so here we have church members doing a little welcoming in. Okay, so we got John Inder, we got Diane Rollert, yeah, minister of the church. So yeah, Diane Rollert, John Inder, Harvey Shepherd, one other woman who I don't recognize. And you know what I find interesting is, you know, Diane Rollert has in the past claimed to be very